Councillors, we're starting this morning. Thank you for your attendance, and thank you to those in the public seats. I appreciate you gathering here today with us. This is a new venture that Council is trialling. It is an open public forum. We're going to have it at the beginning of each council meeting. Full council meeting, other than most council meetings that we have a citizenship ceremony. So you will need to keep an eye on the paper when they are. But they will be on a 3-weekly cycle other than citizenship. So Council, this term, we do value the ideas and insights of Council, and during the election time I think we all viewed that people wanted to have better access to elected members and to council. So this open forum does occur in other councils. Originally we were going to put some quite tight tight rules around the process. We're not going to do that. We're going to try it pretty well that you're going to have your say. We've got half an hour. Full council will start at 10 o'clock, so it will finish at 10. You are going to have 5 minutes. That 5 minutes will be controlled by a bell. You are able to talk about whatever you want to talk about. There won't be any discussion or arguments or anything like that. This is your time, and so you can come up and have your say. There may be some questions. If there are any issues that Council wants to pick up, we will make note of them, and they will then go through the normal channels. So, can I just please have a show who actually wants to speak today? Right, thank you. I can see 3 hands there now. Mr. Simpson, would you like to start? And then we will follow with, and sorry, I don't know names.
Mr. Hobbs.
Oh yes, Mr. Hobbs, I do know. Mr. Simpson, Mr. Hobbs, and
Mrs. Wright.
Mrs. Wright. Thank you for that. Mr. Hobbs and Mrs. Wright. Mr. Simpson, if you would just like to take one of those, yeah, that's fine.
Right, obviously my topic today is the airfield, as it always is. It's become a bit of a dog's breakfast. There's no management of the airfield. For example, now we can't even mow the grass in areas where for 13 years I've been mowing grass without any problems, incidents or whatever. Been told we can't do that. Yet, just this week, I see that the car club used a major earthworking equipment to excavate large amounts of dirt from the public road or from the roadway down to the airfield. So why are these things so unevenly enforced? And as a part of this health and safety plan for making things safe at the airfield, I would have thought that since I'm the guy who's mown the grass for 13 years, I would have been consulted, but I haven't been. So what's going on? And this actually speaks to greater management issues in the airfield itself. Now, I've given most councillors a little thing called drone flying parks and reserves. If you don't have a copy, I've got a couple of spare ones here. My big concern with council is that I know councillors have been elected to represent the people, and that's fair enough. And perhaps the most disturbing thing I've read today was a letter from Ted Anderson regarding delisting the airfield. His summary was, delisting the airfield does not provide any benefits to council. That shocked me, because it's not about what's best for council, it's about what's best for the people of the district. And there seems to be a disconnect between council staff and the people of the district, and the councillor's job is to fill in that disconnect. The councillors are here to represent the people. I don't care what's best for council, I care what's best for the people of this district. Council staff seem to have forgotten that. Ted Anderson's forgotten it, and I think Craig Hobbs has forgotten it too, because they have repeatedly misinformed the council as to what facts are in regards to our airfield. If you read the documentation in the agenda, you'll see that Mr. Anderson gave a long list of reasons why we couldn't delist the airfield. I came back with replies to that, showing that a lot of that was just disinformation or irrelevant. And the system we have at the moment is flawed, because I can make a submission, and then council staff can come back and make claims and allegations and present information. But I don't get a reply to that. There's no right to reply. So council staff have the last word. Council remain misinformed. That is bad. That is why our airfield, over the 13 years I've been there, has gone from being a prosperous, busy little airfield to a disused hay paddock. has. If you go there now, the grass is 2 feet tall in some areas. Unbelievable. And I'm not allowed to mow. I'm the only one that does. And we introduced landing fees. Whose bright idea was that? Pilots now avoid the airfield. There has not been one landing fee, and I've put in that landing fee thing all month. The last month there have been no landing fees paid to the airfield. Because the only benefit the airfield has was it was free, and you've taken that away. So pilots are just avoiding it. And we have other opportunities. I've got copies of this. In Western Australia, drone pilots can earn $200,000 a year. But we won't even let our kids be trained as drone pilots because we won't repurpose that airfield into a growing industry, which is unmanned aviation. We'd rather have it growing hay and rotting away. Most of the people who had aircraft at that airfield have left, and not because, as Mr. Hobbs says, anything to do with me. They've left because the airfield is disused. It's just, there's no reason for them to stay. When I built $40,000 in pledges to put on this council chamber tables from people around the world who wanted to fund the creation of a tourist attraction at our airfield, turn it into something that would bring people from around the world, Mr. Hobbs said he didn't believe any of those people would honour those pledges. Well, if you go to my Patreon page on the internet, you'll see that every month I'm being pledged $2,122 US, which is $3,000 New Zealand, which is $36,000 a year, every year from those very same people. And they're paying it, going into my bank account. So Mr. Hobbs misinformed council when he said he didn't think they'd pay, or they wouldn't pay. They have paid, they are paying. We are throwing away so many opportunities with this airfield, because it seems that within council staff there's some kind of agenda. Anything that I bring along is dismissed. The council is misinformed, misinformation is given so that you people make decisions based on what the staff have told you, and they're the wrong decisions. You're disadvantaging the community, you're disadvantaging businesses. My proposal to turn the airfield into a tourist attraction over the summer would have brought in at least 500 people from around the world. That's how many responses I got. People wanting to come from the USA, from Australia, from Europe this summer. Now we want to spend $2.5 million tarring up the front of town to bring people into the town. And I was prepared to deliver that for free, as well as turning our airfield into an asset, not a liability. But Mr. Anderson said, oh no, we can't do it. He misinformed council. The information he gave was incorrect. Either Mr. Anderson misunderstands, or he has some other agenda. I don't know what it is, I don't care. Either way, I believe management of the airfield has to be removed from council staff, or it will never do anything but grow hard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Thank you for that. Mr. Hobbs.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's
Mr. Hobbs.
Sorry.
No replies. No.
Sorry, Mr. Hobbs, I apologise.
Haven't we had this conversation before, some ways?
Yes, we have.
I'm the one that should be apologising, Lord Mayor. I want to congratulate Council on its election. I'd like to say it's the most important role that you have, because parliamentary government has lost the plot around the world, because it's divorced itself from the community. And it's a real problem, as we know. And we only need to go as far as Auckland to see the damage of having distance between people and authority. So I do wish you well. I am the guy who entrusts council with the impossible, which takes a little bit longer than the plain ordinary, like sweeping the room. So council has kindly looked at getting rid of the slums in our city. That will mean, of course, going to Parliament, which is down in Wellington, but saying we don't regard slums as as a council, and they need to be uplifted and removed or rebuilt. So this council, along with Rotorua and so on, is trying to work that through Parliament, that a slum is not a council. And it devalues the whole of town culture, which is brilliantly built and looked after. So the next impossible thing, Lord Mayor, don't smile, is that having very little to do, being so old as I am, I was reading about what Auckland consumers get. And if I may, I would like to leave this paper with you. It's from the Entrust Dividend. It's a gang of people run by Mercury, I think, and Vector. And they very proudly say, getting an Entrust dividend in the mail or your bank account each year is one of the best things about living in Auckland. Now, I'll abbreviate the rest of it, but if you're in a gang, 320,000 people and businesses are in the city, they get a dividend of $345 each year for that. It's a handy thing, especially for people who are pressed for money. But I would like to recommend that we, who live in the vicinity of 5 of the great power dams, electricity providers, we who now have nice football grounds for the children, for whom we've done quite a lot for farmers, which is well worth it, we who have become environmentally minded and don't want our water saturated with toxin. We've done all that. Could we get on to some of these impossible issues? There is no reason why we couldn't get, if properly managed, a lot of rebate on power. And why do we need it? Because, Lord Mayor, if you look at NEMA, you find that the cold in the central part of the island, where we live, is the same as the cold on the west coast of the South Island. It's the same shading. And in fact, they say our winter ends in September. We know it doesn't. It goes on until October. And we get the value of the chills and the wind that come off the mountains. So if they can hand out $100 million a year to 320,000 Aucklanders, well then they might be able to find a little bit of money for Bernie Holtz and his little Peter in Tokoroa. May I think?
Thank you very much, Mr. Hobbs. And yes, I accept that. Thank you very much.
I underlined the...
Thank you very much.